Ever feel like you're being watched in the dark, like something's out there lurking, just out of sight?
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, well, in the Ramiyan mountains of Iran, that feeling might not just be your imagination.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah. Welcome to Iranian Things, episode 103. I'm Kia Mars,
And I'm Tendaz.
and we're your guides to the hidden corners of Iranian culture. All the good stuff. Folklore, mythology, those creatures that may or may not exist.
Right, the ones that keep you up at night.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into the legend of Sho Boland, a fearsome figure said to roam the Ramiyan mountains. So you haven't already hit that subscribe button, do it now so you don't miss any of our deep dives into Iranian culture. All right, let's paint a picture for you. Imagine the dense forests of the Ramiyan mountains, the sun's setting, casting these long, creepy shadows everywhere.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting the chills already.
Right. It's the perfect setting for a ghost story. But Sho Boland is more than just a story. I mean, these legends are born from real fears, real dangers that people faced in their everyday lives.
Oh, absolutely. They reflect the way people try to understand and cope with the world around them. And when it came to Sho Boland, we're talking about something truly terrifying.
So let's talk about Sho Boland. What does this creature look like?
Well, picture this. A towering figure, incredibly tall with these long, spindly limbs, and it's always shrouded in darkness.
Like you can't even see it in the dark.
Not clearly. The sources say that even a full moon can't illuminate its face.
Wow. That is freaky. So it's not just the size and strength that's scary. It's the mystery, the unknown. You don't even know what you're dealing with.
Exactly. And that adds a whole other level of fear. It's the fear of the unseen, the things that lurk just beyond our perception.
It's like our primal instincts kicking in, right?
Exactly, like being afraid of the dark. It's deep in our DNA.
Makes sense. And the stories say Sho Boland isn't just creepy looking, it's incredibly strong too, right?
Oh, yeah. We're talking ridiculously strong. Like, could decapitate someone with a single blow. Strong.
Whoa. Okay, so not something you want to run into in a dark forest.
Nope, definitely not. And you can see how this fear would shape people's behavior. They had to find ways to protect themselves.
And that's where the practice of Shopai comes in, right? Tell us about that.
So Shopai means guarding the fields at night. Basically, people would stay up all night keeping watch to protect themselves and their livestock from Sho Boland. Imagine the tension, the fear, sitting there in the darkness, waiting, listening for any sign of this creature.
It must have taken a lot of courage to do that, knowing what they believed Sho Boland was capable of.
Absolutely. But it wasn't just about courage, it was about community. People came together to protect each other, to face their fears together.
That's a really powerful message even today. The idea that even in the face of fear, we can find strength in community.
Right. And I think that's something we can all relate to, even if we don't have to worry about Sho Boland coming for us. There are always challenges, always fears that we have to face, and facing them together makes all the difference.
Exactly. So what can we learn from the legend of Sho Boland?
I think it's a reminder of the power of storytelling and how these stories, passed down through generations, shape our beliefs and behaviors. And it also shows us how people try to make sense of the world, even the scary parts.
It's like a glimpse into the past, right? How people lived, what they feared, what they valued.
Absolutely. And even though we may not believe in Sho Boland literally, the emotions, the fears, the sense of community that the legend evokes, those are things that are still relevant today.
Yeah, it leaves you with a lot to think about. Makes you wonder if maybe there's still a little bit of that Shopai spirit alive in us today. That need to protect each other, to face our fears together.
I like to think so, because even though the world has changed, the human need for connection, for belonging, for safety, that's timeless.
So the next time you find yourself out in the dark, maybe take a moment to remember Sho Boland. And not just the fear, but the strength, the resilience, the sense of community that the legend represents. And who knows, maybe you'll even feel a little bit braver yourself.
Or maybe just a little creeped out.
Either way, it's a good story, right? If you're interested in learning more about fascinating creatures from Iranian folklore, make sure to check out the playlist for this episode. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.